Hey everybody, Rosie the Rascal 15 here. Today I'm going to be reviewing a horror movie sequel. Since Halloween is around the corner in about a month, I thought I'd talk about a horror movie sequel to a film I love, and that is Halloween 2, the 1981 version, not the Rob Zombie Halloween 2, which maybe I'll review that in the future, but not right now, because there's a lot of Halloween movies in the franchise I want to talk about on this channel, and yeah, I want to talk about Halloween 2. Directed by Rick Rosenthal. It came out in 1981. It is a sequel to the 1978 John Carpenter classic. I think this movie was made with about $2.5 million, and it was a pretty big hit. Not as big of a hit as Halloween 1, but it did make $25 million at the box office, so it was a hit. And unfortunately, the critics didn't give this movie any good reviews, and I understand why, because this movie has problems, but I think of all the Halloween sequels, this is probably one of the more well-received ones by the fans. And to be honest with you, I think despite its flaws, and despite its story structures and some of its plot details that don't really go anywhere, I think it's really well shot. I think it's actually really well directed, and it has a really good soundtrack, and the cinematography is real good. For those who don't know, I'm actually a massive Halloween fan. It's actually my favorite horror movie franchise, right next to Evil Dead. I actually think the first Halloween might be the greatest horror film ever made, and I know a lot of people nowadays may kind of say it's overrated, or the first Halloween tends to be seen as a film that, like, oh, nothing really happens in it. It's kind of tamed by today's standards, which it is, but the first Halloween is like the original Psycho, or the original Night of the Living Dead. It's just a classic. You can't go wrong with it. And Halloween 2 is about more of the night he came home. Michael Myers. Let me give you the synopsis of the film. Basically, Laurie Strode is rushed to the hospital after her traumatic night of her friends being killed, and Michael Myers basically being shot in front of her. And Michael Myers ended up leaving the night. He ended up surviving the 6 times he got shot by Dr. Loomis. And now Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, gets rushed to the hospital. And it's up to Dr. Loomis to basically find Michael Myers and put an end to it, while Jamie Lee Curtis is at the hospital. And that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. I know it sounded like I rushed through the story synopsis, but that's really the plot of Halloween 2. And I kind of respect the fact that this is a sequel to Halloween 1, and despite the movie having a massive budget increase, I mean, the first Halloween was made with like $325,000, and the next one was made with $2.5 million. That's a big budget. I really love the fact that this movie still made it small scaled, like it still feels like a low budget film, which I really respect the hell out of Rick Rosenthal for going in that direction. I want to talk about the positives with the film. The biggest positives I can get, like I said, the soundtrack is outstanding. It's still John Carpenter doing the music, now with Alan Howarth, and they do a good job. It's basically the music from Halloween 1, but remixed, and I love the music from Halloween 1, so I can't complain about the soundtrack here. It's still really good. I believe Dean Cundy, who was the cameraman for the first Halloween, returns for this one, and yeah, the movie's beautifully shot. There's a lot of good camera shots in the film. It's very professionally shot. The story, I guess, like I said, I'll get into the positives. I mean, excuse me, I'll get into the negatives in a bit, but the positives are the movie looks nice. It's shot really well, and there's some pretty good suspenseful moments in the movie. But my main negatives I have with the film is that, unfortunately, the movie does suffer from the fact that this wasn't even supposed to be made. And what I mean by that is that John Carpenter didn't want to make a sequel to Halloween. In fact, he was kind of forced to make a sequel because the studio demanded they make a sequel. Because you know how Hollywood is. They make a ton of money off of something, and you just got to make sequels. That's how Hollywood works. So John Carpenter had to rush a script for the film, and apparently he even got drunk while writing the script. No joke. That's exactly what John Carpenter said in an interview. He said he hated this film and he hated the script, and he just didn't want to make, he just didn't care. He just said, I'm just going to write the script and, just hope for the best. I mean, I'm getting a paycheck at the end of the day is what John Carpenter basically was trying to say. But you know what? For a movie that wasn't supposed to have a sequel, and for a movie that apparently was written by a drunk John Carpenter, and that the fact that they didn't know what to do in the sequel, it came out pretty okay. I mean, like I said, the movie's actually really well made, despite some of the issues. And again, I don't want to go into too many spoilers in the film, in case you haven't seen Halloween 2. But they do some decisions in the film that I don't really like, mainly involving Michael Myers' connection with Jamie Lee Curtis's character. There's a twist in the movie, you find out why Michael Myers is chasing Laurie Strode. And in my opinion, the twist is really forced. It really sucks. I don't like it. I think it feels really rushed and really like you can see that they were writing it as the movie was being made, and that's the only real negative about the film. Also, they try to explain why Michael Myers is doing his killings when I much preferred the more mysterious, ambiguous type of storytelling in the first Halloween. But overall, Halloween 2, it's a decent horror sequel. Yeah, I actually think Halloween 2 is an okay sequel. I think the acting's pretty good. I really like Donald Pleasance. I believe he got nominated for an award for his acting in this movie. So that should let you know that the acting's pretty good. Compared to part one, the acting's pretty good. Jamie Lee Curtis is great. And I even like some of the side characters, like Jimmy, who was played by, I believe his name is Lance Guest. I think that's the name of the actor. He does a good job. I actually like that character. And some of the other characters are, pretty funny too. Like there's a Jimmy's friend in the movie who's basically these ambulance staff. And pardon me, I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments can correct me what they're actually called. But there's a character in this movie that's Jimmy's quote unquote like partner slash friend. And I don't know, he has a lot of funny lines in the movie. He got some genuine laughs out of me. Also, the nurse in the movie, Nurse Karen, yeah, there's a scene that involves her inside of a hot tub, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's a scene in there, and it was really something else. I'll tell you that. It was like my first time seeing nudity as a kid. I'm just joking. All right, everybody. That's gonna be my review for Halloween 2. I actually highly recommend you check it out. I'm gonna give Halloween 2 a 6.5 out of 10. And that's my review for Halloween 2. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because next week I'm going to review Halloween 3, which, oh boy, that's the very divisive one in the franchise. Either some people love it, some people hate it. I'll let you guys guess in the comments what you guys think my thoughts are on Halloween 3. In case if anyone doesn't know, Halloween 3 is the one that doesn't have Michael Myers in it, so I'll let you decide what you think of it. All right, guys. This is going to be boy Rosa the Rascal 15. Take care. Have fun. God bless. Stay safe. And have a happy Halloween. Bye.